5. Usually my biggest episodes are like the golf rumors. Nicotine is health benefit, I think was the name of it. That's always in like my top 5 episodes. Golf rumor flies in and out of the top 10. Medieval found footage. People jump onto that thinking there's actually going to be footage of medieval times, and then they immediately leave. And then the rest of the top 10 is made of the last 8 episodes. So usually I get 2 or 3 from the conspiracy theory iceberg in my top 10. And this is for the day. I get like stats every day or every 2 days or something like that. So imagine if Golf Rumors wasn't on the conspiracy theory iceberg. It just simply wasn't on there. And then I covered it because someone recommended it and say, have you ever heard about Golf Rumors? It's this weird thing that me and my buddies were talking about in Saskatchewan. I look it up, can't really find anything, kind of fiddle around with it, put that episode out. It's weird, and there's so much stuff missing from the iceberg. You do think it's word soup. I remember thinking it was word soup. What convinced me that at least part of it was real was the Britney Spears one, the Britney Spears original doll. You guys know I'm a huge Britney Spears fan. I saw that and I go, this is fake. I'm the biggest Britney Spears fan in the world. I got 10 restraining orders to prove it. I typed in Britney Spears original doll and I found an article from Vice or Cosmo or something like that talking about her lost album. Wow. That's what made me go, the conspiracy theory, at least parts of it are real. Here's the story. She wrote an album. She wrote like a couple songs and her studio told her not to release it. It wasn't really good. And she went to a radio station as Britney Spears. She just knocked on the door and they let her in. And they played the song, Original Doll. And she walked out of the radio station and her recording studio ripped her a new one. They said, 1, that's our music. You don't have the right. Those are our masters. You don't have the right to leave with that stuff. It's our property. You stole from us. 2, we told you we weren't going to release that song because it sucks. And 3, refer to 1 and 2. I don't think they had 3 reasons. That's all they had. People have stretched it because I guess there's a lyric in the song where it's like, sometimes I don't feel like me, sometimes I'm lost, and people go, oh, it's because of Monarch mind control, she was trying to break free. No, it's just a very sad and lonely woman who's been controlled most of her life, who wrote a poem and put it to music. And she doesn't write her own music. She buys her music from like Shania Twain. She goes through these songwriting catalogs. She wrote a song, she tried to have it played, it was played on LA radio, and then she just got tore a new one because you can't do that. That's the whole story. I, as a Britney Spears fan, find it incredibly fascinating because I'll just devour any Britney Spears news possible. But people try to make it into this mind control thing, but it's not. It's just that, because that's, I talk about this all the time, that's the sexy conspiracy theory. The true story is that this woman has no control over her life. And even in that, even when she broke laws, you can't do that. The song still never got released. So that's on the conspiracy theory iceberg, and there's a lot of stuff like that that is fairly short that I find fascinating. I find that fascinating, but Eggless Travel, when I researched that, I go, this is actually real. Not that Eggless Travel is real, but whoever crafted this iceberg knew these conspiracy theories. And Eggless Travel was so obscure. That was the most research I've ever done on an episode. That may still be the most research I'd ever done on an episode. Grand Soy Unified Theory took a ton of research as well, but not as much as Eggless Travel. So like I said, there's probably 20, 30 more topics off the old icebergs. The new icebergs, they don't make any sense. They're total. Let's look at some of the post. Jack also put these up. Here's some post 2017 iceberg topics. Skippy, that's all that it says. 1977 never happened. 2000 is not a number. Afterbirth jellyfish. What? AIDS cures cancer. Like, these are jokes. These are not real. After 2017, which I love that Jack put this together. After 2017, they just don't make any sense. Like, you can obviously tell this stuff is made up. Some of them, like here we have one, artificial wombs. Okay, that's a real thing. What about ass masks? What does that even mean? I almost feel like I want to start doing the joke one. Bart Simpson 9/11 warning, but live stream cut. Remember that? Remember when they, I mean, they're funny. I'll give them that. The brain is optional. Bratz vs. Barbie World Star Hip Hop fight video. These are now mixed in to the... Well, I really don't refer to Icebergs post-2017 because of stuff like this. I could just keep reading these. What else do we have here? Cell phone radiation killed God. Chairs were invented post-World War II. We get... There's a lot of stuff like that. A Chernobyl incident caused by CIA. I don't know. That might be... That one might be real. Child time traveler sent by the world government to manufacture events. This is obviously in alphabetical order. I'm not like sorting through like that. Let's see here. This fascist raccoons. That sounds. It sounds fascinating. Flintstones and Jetsons take place in the same universe. I've actually heard of that one. Human volcano farms. You know. So they they obviously sound like stuff on the traditional one. On the traditional conspiracy theory. Sorry, now I'm fascinated by looking through this stuff. KFC and McDonald's, Anunnaki spokespersons, McDonald's, chaos magic. That's a good... Might be the best sentence ever written. This is literally me just reading stuff you guys can click off, but I think these are pretty awesome. Masks are real people's faces. There, we have that one. We have the mask one. Max Spear's death. That one is... That's real. I mean, I actually covered that on my show. Medieval gangster music. Oh, no. It's not. Meditative gangster music. I thought mine was better. Miley Cyrus is not Hannah Montana. That's interesting. I don't know what Neo took the blue pill. That'd be an interesting one. Nickelodeon Freemasonry. That's probably true. Rick and Morty is real footage. I mean, I could keep reading these. I pretty much just do a whole episode. Sex toys designed to cripple you. It's probably real. But anyways, I probably should just wrap up this. But yeah, so I almost feel like I want to unravel the mystery of who created the iceberg in the first place. Like, obviously a person or people got together to craft this, and they put in some stuff that then people the following month had no idea where to find it. That's what I find so odd about the conspiracy theory iceberg. I'm almost looking at it on a meta level at this point. Who created it and why? And why are people more fascinated with the conspiracy theory iceberg than a standard super obscure topic? I can't figure that out. That's something maybe you will think about. Maybe you will do my mental thinking for me and reach out to me and say, this is why I like it on... Think about it this way, and actually, yeah, I'd like to hear back from you guys, either email or Gmail, that's the same thing, or YouTube comments. Why is it if the phrase... If Golf Rumors was not on the conspiracy theory iceberg, would you want to hear about it? Would you have ever listened to that episode? And let's say if Yerba Buena Vampires was on... You know what I mean? Like, now I guess I'm probably overcomplicating things, but... What is it about being on the conspiracy theory iceberg that makes it more intriguing than any of the other obscure topics we've covered on the show? Because I can tell you right now, there's a lot of topics I've covered on the show that I did not know was on the conspiracy theory iceberg. And afterwards, I was like, oh, but I've never gone back to record a new intro. But if I had changed the title or changed the intro, it would get more views. So I'd like an essay. I'd like a 500-word essay from all of you, and if you send it to me at just the right time, I'll respond immediately. DeadRabbitRadio@gmail.com is going to be your email address. You can also hit us up at Facebook.com/DeadRabbitRadio. Twitter is @DeadRabbitRadio. Dead Rabbit Radio is the daily paranormal, conspiracy, and true crime podcast. You don't have to listen to it every day, but I'm glad you listened to it today. Have a great weekend, guys. We'll be back with Season 12 on Monday. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Dead Rabbit Radio Classics, where we take a look at a classic episode with some new information. This one was actually recommended by Godrilla. Patreon supported Godrilla, so thank you so much. This is a really interesting episode. I actually can't wait to do some behind-the-scene information on it. And that is going to be at the end of the episode. So if you listen to the episode at the end, I'm going to let you know some cool stuff that was happening behind the scenes and why I think this may actually be a pivotal Dead Rabbit Radio episode. This is episode 13. Honestly, probably 3 weeks. Even more demonic rap conspiracy news, and apparently Michigan can be the last place you'll ever be. Today on Dead Rabbit Radio. Hey everyone, this is Jason Carpenter for Dead Rabbit Radio. I'm back. It's Monday, the 25th. It's not Monday the 25th, it's June 25th. The weather is beautiful, so I don't need any fans. That's always good. I'm always happy about that. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I had a great weekend. It was actually a lot of fun. But here I am back looking at the most ridiculous news possible to have an entertaining podcast. And you know, sometimes it's easier than others. Sometimes I find some great topics, and other times it's a little rough. I did, though, before we get started, I think I have stumbled upon the secret to evolution. I think that I can't really phrase it correctly, but I think I've stumbled upon something that could change everything. Almost like a glitch in the Matrix, and that kind of leads into another story we're going to do. So I was thinking, and it's kind of weird. So we hunt, let's take deer, for example. We hunt deer because their fur's pretty, and they have, like, big antlers. And what if deer started to be ugly? What if they started to evolve to be, like, mottled fur, and busted, like their antlers look all sucky and janky? People would be like, yeah, I'm not hunting them anymore. Well, what would happen is you would go to shoot a deer and you'd look at its fur and it would be all disgusting. It would look like a hobo deer, and you would be like, no, I'm not taking the shot. What am I going to do with that? And his antlers all busted up. And so that deer would go home and theoretically have more deer babies, and those babies would be all, like, busted up. And over time, the big beautiful deers would get shot, and I'd put their head on my wall. But the one that looked like it was all cracked out, I wouldn't shoot, and it could have more babies over time. Now I know what you're saying, Jason. That's really smart, but female deers wouldn't date a male deer, or a buck, I think is the scientific term, does and bucks. A doe would not date a buck if he looked like he was a meth addict. And that is true. However, I think that they would if those were the only ones alive. And okay, so the deer analogy may not be the best, but I think if animals that we hunt were gross looking, we'd stop hunting them. And why don't animals taste disgusting? Like, if I was an animal and I was like, I'm so tired of my species getting bitten by bears and wolves, let's be a deer again. I'm a deer. And wolves keep eating me, like my species, I'm going to taste gross. I'm gonna like start to evolve so I'm grosser. So when a wolf bites me, he's like, ugh, and then, like, runs away, and then I live to have other babies. So you can have it both ways. You could have, like, a busted up looking deer that no one wants to hunt, or a beautiful deer that tastes disgusting, and then they wouldn't have to worry about natural predators. That, I don't know if that either disproved evolution, why animals taste so good, or actually proved that we can make evolution better. That's one of the two. I was thinking about that the other day. I told my friend, she didn't get it, but she did have a headache, so I'm going to chalk it up. Not to any faults in the argument itself, but the fact that she had a headache. Because we were sitting in a really hot theater for a while. Okay, there was more to the story than that. But anyway, so she had a headache. So Speaking of glitches in the Matrix, which kind of is, evolution. So there is, like I said, I like to cover conspiracy theories that are fairly obscure. There are the classics, the ones that I like. I like Bermuda Triangle. I really like disappearing conspiracy theories or paranormal